If you're watching this right now and you're tired, not just physically tired, I'm talking about that kind of tired when you're exhausted from fighting, where you wake up in the morning and you're already wondering how you're going to make it through the day, where you where you smile around everybody else, but inside you're falling apart. I want you to hear me. Please, just keep going. I don't care what you're going through right now. I don't care how bad it looks. I don't care how many times you've failed. I don't care how much you've lost. Your story isn't over. And I know you may not believe that right now. Maybe you can't see a way out. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, what's the point? Maybe you've been fighting for so long that you don't even remember what it feels like to have peace. But I need you to understand something. You don't have to figure out your whole life today. You just have to get through today. Get through this morning. Get through this afternoon. Get through tonight and tomorrow. We'll worry about tomorrow when it gets here. I've been in some pretty dark places myself. I know what it's like to look at my life and wonder how I could possibly fix everything I've broken. I've made decisions I wish I could take back. I've lost things that I thought I'd never get back. I've been addicted. I've been homeless. I've been at a point in my life where I didn't know what my future was going to look like. And somehow, I kept going. Not because I was strong every single day. I wasn't. There were days when I was broken. There were days when I was scared. There were days I didn't have all the answers. But I learned something along the way. You don't have to be strong enough for the rest of your life. You just had to be strong enough for this moment. Maybe you're going through a breakup right now. Maybe you're grieving somebody you love. Maybe you're struggling with addiction. Maybe you're trying to get sober and nobody understands how hard it really is. Maybe you're struggling financially. Maybe you're a parent who's terrified you're failing your children. Maybe you're dealing with depression. Maybe you're lying in bed every night wondering why everybody else seems to have their life together while yours feels like it's falling apart. Listen to me. You are not your worst day. You are not your mistakes. You are not the things you've done. You are not the things that happened to you. And you definitely are not the chapter you're currently living in. There are chapters of life that haven't been written yet, and you don't want to give up before you get to them. Think about that for a second. There are people you haven't met yet. There are places you haven't seen. There are memories you haven't made. There are mornings you haven't woke up to yet. There are laughs you haven't laughed. There are hugs you haven't experienced. There are people who haven't even entered your life yet who are going to love you. And there are versions of you that you haven't met yet. The stronger you, the happier you, the healed you. The version of you that one day looks back at this exact moment and says, I'm so glad I didn't give up. Don't rob that person of their future. And I know sometimes people say things like, everything happens for a reason. And honestly, when you're hurting badly enough, some of those words don't even help. Sometimes you don't need somebody to tell you that everything is going to be okay. Sometimes you need somebody to sit beside you in the darkness and say, I know this hurts, but I'm not leaving you here. So let me be that voice for you right now. I'm not going to tell you that life is always going to be easy. It's not. You're going to get hurt again. You're going to have bad days again. You're going to fail sometimes. You're going to lose people, and you're going to have moments where you question everything. But that doesn't mean you stop. You breathe. You wipe your tears. You get back up, and you take one more step. And if one step feels impossible, take a half a step. If getting out of bed feels impossible, sit up If sitting up feels impossible, take a breath. That's still progress. You don't have to conquer the world today. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to become the person you want to be overnight. Just don't quit on yourself. Because sometimes the biggest victory isn't accomplishing something huge. Sometimes the victory is simply waking up tomorrow and saying, I'm still here. And if nobody has told you lately, I'm proud of you for still being here. Not because everything is perfect, not because you figured everything out, but because you're still fighting. Even if nobody sees the fight, even if you're fighting silently, even if you're putting on a smile while you're breaking inside, I see you. And I want you to know that your life has value. Your existence matters. You matter. More than your money, more than your job, more than your mistakes, more than your past, more than whatever someone said to you or about you. You matter simply because you're here. So tonight, when your mind starts telling you that you're not good enough, don't listen. When it tells you that you messed up too badly, don't listen. Because you don't know what tomorrow is bringing. You don't know what next month is bringing. You don't know who you're going to become. And you don't know how beautiful your life could eventually be. So don't make a permanent decision based on a temporary moment of pain. Stay. Fight. Ask for help. Talk to somebody. Cry if you need to. Scream if you need to. Rest if you need to. But keep going. One day, you're going to look back and you're going to realize the moment you thought was the end was actually the beginning. The beginning of your healing. The beginning of your strength. The beginning of a completely different life. And maybe you don't understand why you had to walk through everything you walked through. Maybe you never will. But you can still choose to keep moving forward because your past may explain you, but it doesn't have to define you. So if you're watching this alone right now, I want you to take a breath. Seriously, take a breath. Put your phone down for a second. Look around you. You're here. You're alive. And as long as you're still here, there's still hope. You don't need to know how everything is going to work out. You just need to believe that it can. And if you can't believe it for yourself right now, then borrow my belief in you. I believe it for you until you're strong enough to believe it yourself. Just keep going. One day, 1 hour, one breath, one step at a time. Because somewhere ahead of you, there's a version of your life that you haven't even dreamed about yet. And I don't want you to miss it. Don't give up before you get there. Keep going.